Good evening to everyone. Welcome to our new live stream. This is the first live stream we'll have in 2026, okay? And I should say right now that I expect this year to be a beautiful year. I just want to wish you a very happy 2026, and especially not a very important thing as well. I would say that 2026 will be filled with elections because today I would say my condolences to the family of the former now representative of California's 1st district. Okay, so I would say I'm very sorry for his death. He died today, and that's why now Republicans have a smaller majority in the House. Okay, also another representative from the Republican Party is involved in a car accident. I think he is all right, but I'm not so sure about whether he can vote right now. Of course, he cannot because he's in the hospital, but that's not a loss in the Republican majority. And Marjorie Taylor Greene yesterday resigned from her seat in Congress due to many controversies between the Epstein files and Trump's presidency as well. So that's why she resigned. So the Republicans have 3 losses, even though one is just temporary because it depends. All of them are temporary because we're going to have special election, but one of them is just because an accident happened, and probably this will change as soon as everything great, which I hope it will be. So this is a very important aspect because if Thomas Massie from Kentucky will vote with the Democrats on releasing the files or more files or even another matter, this may be a sign that Republicans don't have actually a majority at all to pass things, because you are losing 3, you have a very small majority in the House, and that means it's a very difficult task moving forward from today. And today we have elections in South Carolina, in Virginia, in Georgia. Georgia is a runoff. We covered this election before the first round, of course. Now we're gonna have a runoff, and Arkansas, and also Arkansas and Connecticut. I'm not so sure how many time I'll be here covering this. Probably just about the most important one, of course. It's South Carolina's, because it's a Republican seat, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just check that, because I think it's a Republican seat, but it is a very competitive race. Or at least it was a competitive race last time. That's why I think it might flip. I'm not so sure about that. Let me just check here, because exactly, this South Carolina, it's a very important election. Okay, this was 57 for the Republicans and 43 for the Democrats in 2024. So right now, this can actually means that we can have a flip today. And as you can see here, we don't have by county separation because it's probably only one county. We only got in 2024 around 16,000 votes. So if you're gonna have 20 or 30% of the votes we got, or like 3,000 or 3 to 6,000 votes this time. So we don't expect a lot, but we do expect a very competitive race here in South Carolina's State House, the 98th district. Okay, and this can actually means that the Republicans might actually the Democrats might actually be able to win this, which is surprising, of course, because it needs to be a 14 points shift. But still, it's still possible. The Democrats see much bigger and overperformance over the last few in the last year. Okay, so we'll see. We'll just wait. The polls are about to close in just less than a minute right now in South Carolina and in Georgia as well. So Georgia, we do have here. It's only about Cherokee County, and this is the Republican district as well. I think it was unopposed in 2024. This is the district just when you go away from the Atlanta metro area, when you go to the suburbs. Cherokee County is a county that voted for Trump 65 to 35, if I'm not mistaken. So this is actually a Republican county overwhelmingly, but it's one of the counties that actually is voting more Republican, more Democratic in the last few years. Let me just check here because I want to compare you. Cherokee is this county here, so it's 69 to 30. I'm sorry, I was mistaken by a little bit. And if you want to compare with past elections, you see that's one of the few counties in Georgia that actually shifted towards Harris, as well, most of the suburban Atlanta as well. But as you can see, it shifted towards Harris by 0.2%. And if you compare 2026 to 2020, is one of the ones that shifted to Biden by the biggest margin. And you go, since Trump also in 2000 when Clinton came in as well. So since Trump came into the scene in the United States as well, you can see here Cherokee was actually 19 points now towards the Democrats. And this is actually one of the counties that actually has been shifting towards the Democrats in the last few years. So this can actually be important as a matter of just how bad things are in that regard. But it's only 8 precincts. It's very small district. Bill Fincher is probably going to win by a very big margin, okay? Anything below 100, of course, is a loss because he wasn't opposed. Not he, but the other Republican candidate wasn't opposed. But we'll see. This might be the Democrats can get 30 to 40. That will be amazing for them. Of course, we don't know about that. So the polls have actually now closed in South Carolina and in Georgia as well. Let me just open here in Georgia, because even though we have the results from the state official website, I just want to say here, I don't know what's happening here. Okay, now we have Scott Sanders and Bill Fincher. I'm not so sure about how it was in the first round, but I think, of course, Bill Fincher won, and this was a very, I think Scott Sanders got 20% or so. And Virginia as well, it's also a race that we'll have right now. Virginia and the state Senate and the state House, okay? It's the House of Delegates, the same thing. This is around Chesterfield and Richmond, and it's the same thing. So it's basically the same area that we'll have. And as you can see here, I just want to show you the district because that's very important as well. I just want to show you the district. The district 77, okay, that's the district we're going to have elections, has a bit of Richmond City, which is very democratic because it's a city. And then you have Chesterfield County, which is much more competitive than Richmond City. And then if you compare here, is a democratic. I suspect, yes, it is a democratic area of the state. Okay, in terms of election day, it's slightly. We don't even have one precinct that it's Republican, so it's actually not so great for the Republicans in this area. So we expect a big win. Doesn't matter. In the state house, I just want to compare here. It's the 15th. This might be. I don't know. How can I? Okay. It might be better. It's still strong democratic. It's different because you have the city of Richmond and get all the suburbs to the west. I'm sorry, to the east of Richmond towards towards Petersburg and Colonial Heights. This beautiful cities over there. And if you go to the precinct results, yes, it's more competitive. You even have 1, 2, 3, 4 precincts that are red, even though it's almost nothing. But okay, let's just call it. And right now we're still waiting for results because that's the most important part. We're here today, and I suspect this will be very fast. Virginia and also Georgia, they tend to be fast at counting votes. Also South Carolina, because yeah, tomorrow I'll need to wake up early, so I'm just here having the live stream because I think it's not a huge importance, but we can actually have one flipped. South Carolina State has the 98th district, and we'll see if that will happen or not. But yeah, now it's just about waiting and waiting and waiting. Always the same thing. Now we have 3 people watching. Okay, thank you guys for being there. We are at 192 subscribers and we're close to 200 subscribers. The goal for this year, as I said multiple times, it's 1,000. I know it's a very substantial goal. We need to basically 500% of the subscribers we have today. But I think it's certainly possible because we're having 5 videos per week plus live streams, and we're gonna have very important elections on January, or still possible in the 3rd of February, because we'll have Marjorie Taylor Greene replacement. Okay, and that happens in Georgia. So if any candidate achieve the 50% threshold, you'll have a runoff. Then we'll have another election on the live stream. And also, we'll have that one in the January the 31st, a Democratic, 2 Democrats running up into runoff in Texas, trying to be the new, of course, congressman from Texas in the 18th district. And then we'll have the replacement of Mikey Sherrill in New Jersey, the 11th congressional district, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sorry about that, guys. And we'll also have in this replacement for this California Republican congressional member that unfortunately died today. And yeah, that's it. Now we have primaries, of course, but that primaries I think it's only from May on, or from April 1. I'm not so sure about that, but we'll have a lot of primaries coming into the midterm elections. We'll have coverages of everything that into the in the channel. I hope you guys are tuning in everything. Right now, I just want to check. We don't have anything. I don't know why sometimes they take a lot of time to release the votes, especially here in Georgia, because they have most of the things already tabulated, have everything counted, so we just need to release the votes, the early votes, and then we'll just count the election. There will be probably much smaller portion of them. It's like we have like 80% early votes in Georgia and 20% either we vote early by mail or early in-person vote, and then you'll have 20% of them that actually vote election day. Majority overwhelmingly Republican, but yeah, this district is going to be Republican no matter what, so we're not seeing any surprise at all. It's just about South Carolina, whether the Democrats can actually, with Sonja, can actually flip the district, which is actually possible. I can just show you where this district is. And as you can see here, the 98th district. Okay, we have here. Okay, you have here in I didn't know you actually have here I mean, a page in the New York Times for data. I mean, I didn't know this is not so important election, so I thought maybe only Decision Desk HQ would have a dedicated page. But as you can see here, we have the state senate in the district 15. We already checked that, and we also have the district. And the one that I'm talking is this one. This is the South Carolina State House, the 98th special. Because this is actually important, because this is a Republican district that will probably be Democratic after today. I mean, I say probably because the last elections we saw a swing of 20 points plus for the Democrats, and I think if that applies here, if that applies here, of course, the Democrats are going to take over that, which I'm not so sure about that either, but we'll see about that. Let me just check here because I was checking the district, the composition of the district, and somehow I didn't. Okay, let me just check here. And okay, so okay. So the district is, when you go outside of Charleston, Charleston is one of the biggest, if not the biggest city in South Carolina. It's not the capital. The capital is Columbia, just right here. But you have Charleston is one of the biggest cities, certainly the biggest county in the state of South Carolina. And the district is just when you go outside of it, this should be a very Republican place, even though it might be a little bit more competitive. That's why in 2024, this was, as you can see here, 56 to 43. So we got 17,000 votes. If you get 20% of that, that means we'll have 3,000 votes today, which is very, very bad. But yeah, this is how bad the situation is in terms. This is a very small district, so you're not going to get too much of an argument. In 2022, the margin was bigger. In 2020, the margin was even bigger. The Republicans didn't have an opponent, neither in 18, probably because the district changed. Sometimes we are misjudging things because we don't know the composition of the district. Yes, as you can see here, we got a redistricting. I don't know why this is not showing. This is not showing at all, but we got a different composition. That's why probably it wasn't much more Republican than it is right now. And we're still at 0 in everything. I don't know why, but let's just call it. Yeah, so I think I'm going to do a quick break because we're already 8 minutes after polls have already closed in Georgia and in South Carolina and in Virginia. And as soon as we have results, I'm going to be here talking to you and explaining things. I don't know exact precincts, to be honest, only in Georgia. And the margins will be important, especially here in South Carolina, you'd say that. And I'll be back soon. Hello guys, right now I'm back and now we have the first votes in Virginia and they're from, we have the Democrats at 84% and the Republican at 16%. And this is the results. Okay, we have results from both counties. From Chesterfield County, we have 7% of the vote, 79 to the Democrats, 21 to Republicans. This is actually the most conservative. If you can say it's conservative, it's not, but it's the most Republican-friendly part of the district. Republicans are losing by 50 points, 57 points. Okay, that's the friendliest part of the district. And then you have Richmond City. The Republicans are losing 95 to 5. They're losing by 90 points. This is all expected because it's a very democratic district. But right now the Democrats are winning 84 to 16. Remember, we have the state Senate right now already. We can compare 30 points in the state Senate. And this was 30 points. So it's more or less the same, at least right now in the Virginia State Senate, the 15th district. I'm sorry, it's not more or less the same. It's much better. Not much better, but it's 35 points. So it's around almost 6-7 points better. In Richmond City, it's still very early, but in Chesterfield, we can actually see some votes being counted. But it's still very early. We'll have at least 30,000 votes over here. Not the same as we got, but probably like 35% of the turnout we got in 2024. So this is what we have so far. But in terms of the rest, we're still in the same digits. I just want to go here because I think we have. Okay, now we already have in the House of Delegates, as you can see here. Mostly the same area, but it's not. It's still slightly bigger in the Senate, the state Senate, of course. But as you can see here, 69 to 31 and 65 to 35 in the state district 15. So we're still waiting for a lot of votes, but I suspect now it will be better for the Republicans as the election day vote comes in. I think this was the early vote. That's my expectation, but we'll see about that. We're still waiting about South Carolina and Georgia. As you can see here, we don't have anything there. And I'll be back when as soon as you have more results, okay? See ya. Now we have more results in Virginia. Okay, the New York Times have just projected the winners here. Of course, the Democrats, as expected, overwhelmingly. And as you can see, it has actually increased probably because of the a little bit more of Richmond City, maybe. I don't know the exact percentage, and maybe I can check it right here. But yeah, we still have we still have more to come out of Richmond City, so maybe this percentage can actually go up. Right now, it's an overperformance of only 4 points. That's not what the Democrats want. The Democrats want much more than that. And if they can achieve a 14 points overperformance in South Carolina, they can actually flip the seat. But that's a topic for when we have votes, so we don't have it yet. So guys, we now have results of Georgia, okay? As you can see here in the official website, we have 1.8k votes to the Republican and 800 votes for the Democrats, Bill Fincher and Scott Sanders. And this is just the absentee voting. So this was actually will become much better for the Republicans. I suspect it will reach at least 70%. But still, this was an unopposed district, means that the Republicans got 100% last time. Right now, they're not getting 100% at all, and they'll probably get around 70% or 72% at best. So it's not a huge win. It's no matter what, this is a Republican. It's a win for the Republicans, but it's in terms of numbers, it's not a huge win at all. We don't have results here in the New York Times. I don't know why. Let's check here South Carolina. Maybe we have results we don't. And in Virginia, we're now at 70% reported in the state Senate to District 15th. The Democrats are almost at 70. This is an overperformance right now of around 8 to 9 points. It's not the 14 they need in South Carolina. So I'm just trying to get a little bit of glances looking at these results, and also here 74 to 26 because it's a much more Democratic area. Not much more, but it's still, I think, 10 to 20 points much more Democratic, okay? I just want to check here because in terms Richmond City is still the one that we have still votes to go. So this percentage may actually increase and reach probably 71, 72%. I don't know, but probably that'll be possible. Now, right now, this is the votes we got in the other part, as I was showing you before. 35% of the vote is already in, and we're still waiting about more early vote and then the election day vote in this very Republican county. It might actually be a district, I'm sorry. It might actually be around 40% or 50% of the vote because it's more Republican. Republicans tend to vote on election day. So this will go up as soon as we have the 8 precinct results in Georgia. In South Carolina, we're still at 0. And we'll see about that, okay?